I've just been going through the EVE Vanguard Discord to see what kind of questions people have been asking when they first play the game. There's no guides in game, or at least there's no kind of tutorial available, because it's a pre-alpha. The game is moving as it's being developed constantly, so everything's changing the whole time. So I figured I'd do a different format video where I just kind of describe some of the mechanics whilst in game. So yeah, this is me. First up is a question that gets repeated quite often. It's simply, how do I get more ammo? There are two main ways of doing this. You can get loot drops or ammo drops off NPCs once you kill them. Their loot box will produce them. But a consistent way to get more ammo is to simply craft it yourself. So that would be the Z key to open up the crafting menu. You can select ammo and then kinetic rounds. They are kind of the default weapon, or default ammo, although really you want to be getting some energy ammo. Easiest way to get energy ammo is use this top layer of a mining node. Using your kind of default mining laser setup, you can kind of strip that first layer off. And the default will actually get these yellow ones as well. And you can see I don't have enough resources to craft those kinetic rounds in my queue just there, so I can delete that. And now I can actually craft some energy rounds. So these are more effective because they do more damage against shields. Your drop suit mainly has a kind of shield health, so any kind of ammo that does damage against shields more than health will obviously benefit you. So now that's crafted, I can press B and change to my energy rounds. So I'm just seeing if there's anyone around. There's no one around. Okay, so that is a good way of getting more ammo. Basically crafting it is a consistent way to get it. The resource cost for kinetic ammo is really quite low. An alternative way of getting ammo is, once you've had a successful deployment, you may have extracted with additional ammo, and you can put that in your backpack and bring it with you to planet, basically. So, how do you actually deploy? That's another kind of common question that's been, how do you extract? That's another common question that's been asked. And you need a signal beacon. I mean, this really should be renamed to extraction beacon for the next build, but we'll have to wait and see. So, again, crafting menu, I go to equipment and I select signal beacon. I'm actually gonna have to go find some resources, because I've been crafting that kinetic ammo. There is an alternative way to craft an alternative way to extract as well. So if you go off the map edges, you'll get what used to be called kind of the red line, but now is kind of a green extraction warning. I wouldn't recommend doing it by jumping off a cliff in Solstice. That's going to hurt. What you need to do is find a corner of the map where you kind of have that kind of edge, and it will kind of bring up that warning. I'll see if I can find that a bit later on in the video. So basically going through this loot field, picking up all the picking up everything using holding E. These loot fields can actually give a decent amount of credits and resources as well. You can kind of get some low level chipsets. You can see crafting has completed on my signal beacon now. So hold F for the radial. I've already got deployable shield on my inventory, and I can select this signal beacon. You can place it anywhere that's not kind of directly covered. You need to kind of clear skies in order to extract. So if I go to this ledge here, in theory, it's not available. There is a bit of a hack though. In this current build, you can throw deployables or shields and extraction beacons, and obviously grenades. So if I throw it under the cover, that will actually activate. Not sure if that'll get patched for the next build. You can see it's producing a yellow extraction beam. You've got 15 seconds before that then changes to extraction. I'm going to get out of here so I don't actually get caught up in that extraction. It'll change to green, flash a few times. If you're in it, it will kind of deploy after a second. If you're outside of it, it gives you a bit of that kind of a bit of extra hang time for you to get in there. And yeah, that would have extracted with most of my equipment. So what does get extracted? If I look at my inventory here, so anything with this kind of yellow icon, they can actually be banked at terminals, and they will get extracted. Same for kind of like tech fragments. They will get banked terminals, as well as just kind of simply extracting. Extracting all your gear, you'll get all your kind of ammo, any kind of deployables you have on you. The exception is you won't get some crafting resources like your inner and reactive alloys. I'm not sure power cores get extracted either. And your nanites and your energy cells as well, they don't get extracted, they kind of stay with you in on your drop suit itself. Okay, yep, so looking through other questions, a big one is, so what do I do? That is really kind of open-ended in terms of CCP is going for a kind of a sandbox shooter. It's really up to you to kind of define what you want to do. You can be a slayer, simply go around, find people and kill them. You can, you know, what the gameplay loop is you know, kind of looting for more materials and completing contracts for more credits. So if I bring up the credit menu, so I'm sorry, contract menu, I don't know what the default key is for this, but I use K as mapped to it. It gives me these kind of contracts I can select. So each map will have 3 contracts you can choose from. For Solstice it's Faint, Objectivity and Lifeblood. And you can't actually see from this screen, but you'll have 3 additional objectives. And those will vary based on the contract variant you get. So I'm doing Faint number 10, so that means I'll get a certain combination of the 3 objectives for this contract. So yeah, simply accept it, and it'll tell me what to do on the left hand side. You can see kill upwell troops or force. In this build as well, it has a tendency to kind of, the tracker disappears. I think they want to try to go for the minimal HUD look, but obviously that's more annoying when you don't know what you need to do for the contract. So simply press H to kind of bring that back up again, and it'll give you your 3 objectives. How do you complete them? Each one will be kind of fairly involved in terms of what you need to do. I mean, some are fairly obvious in terms of, you know, kill upwell troops or workforce. But your kind of mission area will be shown here on the map. So these tag icons are for the relay jacks. These boxes are looking for, yeah, I need to override the object in there. And obviously with this kind of current setup as well, when you're doing 3 contracts at once, it can seem pretty overwhelming when you first load up the map and you've got like half the map covered in objectives. But it just shows you've got a kind of a broad range of areas where you can actually complete the objectives. Yeah, so in terms of the gameplay loop, it's kind of gather resources to get better gear. Developing chipsets, you need both funds or credits, sorry, to create the blueprints, and you also need materials in order to lots of credits to buy the blueprints, and materials to then make the required chipsets and any kind of additional equipment you want to craft. Only the squad leader can choose contracts, and they are for the 4 open maps. There's no contract selection in Insurgency. That's just simply you know, the 9v9 PvP map. Oh yeah, I keep saying Insurgency, but for this map, for this build, they've also called Havoc, so it can be a bit confusing with both terms. Another question is, so how do I get more clones, or people not even aware you can get more clones? You can see in the bottom right, I've got under biohybrids, I've got 50, which is biohybrids. Biomass is kind of your what you used to heal with, and 2 clones shared across the squad. If I find a clone bank like this one here, so these are the icons you want to see, I can then buy an additional clone for 50 biomass. So biomass is additionally used to heal as well. So one thing you can see as well is that we've got these mission objectives come up on my where the compass is at the top. So yeah, I won't go through the details of a mission item here, but it's kind of like simply some kind of mini games you can complete. For example, in this instance, it's just selecting the right icons to complete 1 out of 8 of those objectives. Turrets, they mainly kind of just give away your position rather than being deadly. Yeah, so I won't kind of run through the mission items right now, so it's kind of like for another day. Yep, so when enemies, including turrets, get killed, they drop what is a loot box here. And you can simply hold E to kind of take everything on there. And there are different types of loot boxes as well. So these ones kind of your more kind of building in-game items, so your kind of electronic parts and that side of things to build or to craft things like contract utilities. These require a lot of electronic parts. These are more kind of your a large quantity of a single resource like nanites or energy cells. Yep, so in terms of getting more biomass or biohybrids, you can do that by killing other players or NPCs. The difference being you can't do it with, in this build, militia do not actually give out biomass. The game also offers the option to have 2 different weapon loadouts, alpha and beta. Simply, using the mouse wheel will allow you to scroll between the 2. It's up to you to choose how you want to set up your gun. The chipsets allow you to kind of customize it how you want, with like different firing modes and changing the scope and that side of things. So here I've got a higher zoom scope I can use to take down these turrets. And kneecap people apparently. You do get different level enemies. I think the white NPCs will be the weakest, followed by the blue, followed by the yellow. Blue and white can be taken down with a single melee strike. Yellow will take 2. And you've got the elites, which are much more of a challenge in terms of bullet sponge. So yeah, you see what they've produced now is a cloud of biomass, biohybrids that I can pick up by simply walking over it, and you've got the loot boxes as well. Don't know if that's every NPC here cleared. Let's find out. It's one kill one. So yeah, before I use that kind of changing to single shot in order to take out those NPCs, when people are pretty up and close to you, it's a lot better to use, I prefer the automatic fire. So, you see this is a cloud of biohybrids. When I go nearby, it will get picked up, disappear, and then I can see the inventory. They do have crafting materials as well as ammo. Elites will drop energy ammo, so that really is quite useful, but they are a bit more of a challenge, so that's kind of your bullet sponge side of things. How do I heal? That's pretty easy. It's using the number 3 key. I simply hold that after I've taken damage, and then it will kind of slowly regenerate health. I'm trying to think of an easy way of doing that here. See if I can get some full damage going on. Yeah, you can see I've got down to 59 health. Now your shield has a delay in regenerating, but it will fully recover, whereas your health has to be manually healed. So yeah, my shield's now come back. And what I'm going to do is hold 3 in order to heal. It uses 20 biomass to heal 25 health, so I need 2 tranches of that. And once again, I'm back up to full health. So what do you lose when you die? Basically everything you've got on you. What you remain between your clones is having your chipset still applied to your gun. So you'll still have your firing modes available to you when you kind of redeploy, but you will lost all the kind of inventory backpack stuff you brought into the match with you. In order to actually successfully extract, you need to make sure you don't get down to 0 clones, or you don't have the clone death timer appear. The clone death timer is at the end of the 4th session. The game sessions are broken up into kind of 4 sectors. At the end of the 4th one, you'll get at the start of the 4th one, you'll get a 5-minute countdown where you need to extract, you need to get out in order to kind of retain all your stuff. Anything, if you fail to extract, you'll then lose all the chipsets on your gun, and obviously anything you're carrying with you as well. So how do you select equipment? Use the radial menu. So hold that down, and then you can kind of pick the item you want. So some deployables can be thrown, others can't. Mission items, stuff like relay jacks, can't be thrown, so I have to select that here and simply place that on the mission objective. You can see on the compass at the top, I have that kind of tag telling me exactly where I need to go, once I get into range of that. So how do I mine? Pressing key number 2 brings up your cutting tool. This top layer won't require any crystals. You can see that works pretty effectively. But if I select one of these alloys that it doesn't work on, you get this kind of burning rather than kind of mining laser effect. In order to mine those, I need to select a specific crystal. Hopefully I've got enough resources to do all these. Again, this is a bit of pre-alpha, so it's a bit finicky, it's a bit fiddly to get this done, but I use the mouse wheel to select a different mode. And then I simply need to load in those crystals. Nope, wrong one still. Yeah, I played the game a lot and I still haven't learned this, but it's something I should probably pay attention to. So if you find the right one, you'll get that kind of noise, meaning that it's working properly. So each crystal should have a specific ore node that it works with. The simple works for the top layer, so this gossanite, and also these yellow ones as well, zincal. If you want the kind of rare loot or the rare ore, what you need to do is mine the entire top layer, so I'll quickly do that now. One helpful thing to do is if you turn on the torch, it's a lot easier to actually see what you're mining. And the thing is, mining crystals degrade over time, or degrade over use as well, so something to be aware of. You know, if you get to the end of it, you may need to create a new one. So another question to ask is, how do you ping mission objectives? So you can either do that by, or ping anything even. If you see another player and you can kind of spot them, you can hit them with the middle mouse button to ping them, or kind of if you're looking for something further afield, you can go into the map, and again it's a middle mouse button to ping it, and you'll have a giant beacon basically appear in first person view that allows you to see where exactly that is. An important thing to consider is banking items. So you need to find a bank terminal. This should appear on your map as this icon. You can bank your held credits as well as your any kind of equipment you carried on you. So there is one nearby here that I just got to find. These caves, yeah, can be pretty tricky to navigate still. So yeah, this is the giant kind of green icon or ping that you get to see, and this is a banking terminal. So simply hold E in order to bank all your things. Yep, another issue is sometimes the def box doesn't work. At the moment it's quite fiddly in terms of if something's on top of it. For example, if the body lands on top of it, it can be difficult to actually open them. This is kind of a bug that obviously will get worked on as kind of future versions. Again, this is pre-alpha. But you can see that energy ammo is really quite effective in order to kill other players. And these are some NPCs. As well, identifying NPCs versus players, it's something you get as kind of game knowledge. It's, you learn the movements, you learn what kind of obviously suits people are wearing. Right, now I've had my fun, it's time to extract. So you can extract with a combination of the deployable shield as well. That makes it obviously a lot harder for any other players to kind of gank you before you escape. So stuff like biomass as well is not taken with you into your next deployment. It's kind of deployment specific. So let's have a look. No one's around. I could drop a signal beacon and a shield. And I've got a good line of sight here as well, so I should be fairly safe in terms of if anyone tries to rush me. I've got my energy ammo, and they'll be easily dealt with. So yeah, you can see a countdown on the extraction beacon. 15 seconds is the total time it takes. Changes to green, and yep, you've extracted. And then you'll get a summary of exactly what you did on the ground. At the moment, what I understand, it's the commodity sales is bugged out, so the equipment that you take that can't be extracted is meant to be converted to credits, but in this current build, that's not working properly. And it gives you all the icons of the things you obviously managed to loot, and any kind of the contract status you have as well.
So there you have it. Hopefully I answered your first deployment questions. If you have any more, then drop them in the comments.